right, let's talk marketing, loyalty and branding, in particular loyalty and marketing. Marketing is one of my favourite topics. I'd like to welcome on stage, very honoured to have Ranae Trimble, the CEO of Accor Plus, up on stage. Thank you, Ranae. Kari Hunter, Senior Director, Strategy, Sales and Marketing, Choice Hotels, APAC. Terry Oomens, Director of Sales and Marketing, Radisson Blue Hotel, Sydney. And again, Bede from Tourism Australia up on stage for the marketing, branding and loyalty panel. Thank you. Can we just have one more mic, roving mic up on stage? We'll see. Okay. Okay. All right, one of my favourite topics. Okay, let's sort of start a little bit about buying habits. I mean, I know that Liz from Google brought these up, but what insights are you seeing from customers in their researching and buying habits, obviously from a business level? Who do you want to start, Kari or Terry or, yeah, or Ranae or, yeah, whenever, yep.
Oh, insights, okay. Feel like we need to wake everyone up as well and
yeah,
you to
get
up and dance. Luckily, I'm loud.
No.
I think the two things from customers that we're noticing is the first one is they want experiences, without a doubt. And we probably have been talking about it for quite some time, but really making sure that we can deliver on those experiences and really move away from the very transactional element into that experience. And it can be delivered so many different ways, but that's what customers are definitely looking for. The other one is really value for money. And that can be within a loyalty program, could be within the accommodation, whatever it may be, but they're probably the two kind of standouts. The other thing is we've talked about for a long time, leisure. We talked about it many years ago, but it's actually real now. And we're definitely seeing the customer behaviour in terms of travel and that mix of corporate and leisure really, really being prevalent now in the consumers that we're seeing travelling.
Yeah. Okay. Kari?
As you touched on, I would agree with all those three trends. Very much that value, particularly at the moment with the cost of living.
Yep.
People are being a little bit more mindful, but they still want that great experience. And that could be within the hotel or that experience brought to life through that great customer service at the hotel, recommending experiences in and around that particular area.
Yep. Terry, from a single property sort of standpoint of view, 5-star, great property in Sydney.
Yeah, I think the value proposition definitely is key. But one of the things I think that we're seeing is people have a real desire for authenticity, whether it's the delivery of your actual service, but also from that value offering and the loyalty side of things, that authenticity is key.
Yep. Okay. Bede, I know you sort of presented a few things up there. What are you sort of seeing?
Yeah, look, and I would agree with all of those.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah.
With all of those trends. It's on. I'd agree with all of those trends. Look, I think they're all there. And look, I think the one that to add on to that at the end, this emergence of sustainability, it's not a now thing, but that is, we can see in a lot of our competitors' market that's something that's coming through, particularly with the younger demographic. So something that we just need to be a little bit ahead of and ready for as well.
Okay. So obviously the current downturn in consumer spending, I mean, how is everyone navigating that? Obviously offering value for money, who's doing it well? I mean, Ranae, you said experiences. Do you think that's better than, obviously the value proposition or? Because everyone's looking at, Google had some interesting sort of stats there as well, so yeah.
Yeah, I didn't unfortunately see the Google stats, but I think travel's still very strong. I mean, yeah. I still think we're seeing it reasonably strong. There's always pockets, but that is normal. But I think, we came off on some incredible years of that, revenge travel. And we set ourselves a new benchmark that was so much higher. But I still think travel is particularly strong. If you even look at the outbound numbers now, they're particularly strong. So I think it's just making sure, and one thing, we have to know who our customer is. And so that's really the most fundamental, because it's expensive to market, to find these customers, to get the customers, to retain them. But knowing who you're going after in a very competitive environment and a very competitive market is really important, because you're not going to have the funds to be able to go after everyone. So that's, I think for me, that's the kind of the starting point of really understanding who your customer is and what you want to offer to that customer, and how you communicate and market to that customer.
Yep. Kari, Terry?
Yeah, to support that, particularly understanding your customer and looking at the data, who is travelling, when and how, and then targeting your particular campaigns to those people. But in addition to that, I guess when you're trying to navigate that price point in an environment where you don't want to be just dropping rates to attract customers, you want to make sure that you're managing ADRs, but also length of stay to get the best possible RevPAR. I think looking at advanced purchase rates or interesting campaigns to attract people, drive length of stay, or increase the advance notice.
Yeah. Terry, Bede?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit to what Ranae was saying. If we drill into what the customer profile is for whether it's property, brand, etc., and really work out what is going to appeal to them, because people are still prepared to spend money, but they're very careful. And I think, again, on one of those Google slides, it is about the decision process that people have about making that decision, when they're going to go ahead, and then what drives them to actually convert.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I agree with all of that, and I think, at the end of the day, Australia is a premium destination, so one of the things that we've just got to target are these high-yielding travellers, and some of that is premium, but it's just people that are prepared to spend a higher proportion of their income on travel, of their disposable income.
Yep, okay. Looking at all the digital marketing channels, this is for the whole panel. What channels are working best for your company? SEO, PPC, social, email marketing, and we had a great presentation from TikTok yesterday that it's not a social media channel, it's more of an entertainment channel. So what's working best for you? SEO, PPC, website, which ones you want to... Kari?
Look, I think Google in particular for us, particularly Meta. And then when it comes to social, particularly video content, whether it be Reels on Insta, through Facebook, and again on TikTok. So videos and Google would be mine.
Yeah, well, for me, I would say there's no one single standard. It is a mixture of all of those channels. And again, video is certainly the up-and-coming content side of things that we really have to keep leveraging.
Yeah. Ranae? I know
Yeah.
you're just more loyalty, but yeah, what you see all the marketing channels, wouldn't you?
Yes, and you need all of them.
Yeah,
to
good
Terry's point.
answer.
I don't think you would not successfully use one over the other. You have to use them all. And the only additional comment I'd make there is content. You have to, getting the channel is fine, putting some money towards a channel is fine, but if you don't have great content, then you're just throwing that money away.
Yeah. Bede, I know Tourism Australia is some amazing content.
Yeah, look, I'm going to agree with all of that again. Look, I think it's having the full ecosystem available to you, but definitely this sort of always on, so people are constantly now on their phones. I mean, that's their research, that's their booking, that's their inspiration, and I think it's even becoming a conversion platform as well, so I think sort of tapping into all of them as well.
Yeah, just on that. The other thing is making sure that you can try to be consistent in your marketing in terms of that always on, and know when you can choose the channel to dial up or dial down at the right time. Because going in for 1 or 2 weeks on a particular channel is really
Not going to work. Yeah.
is not going to work. Yeah. So it's really trying to,
And having the correct data is very important as well. So yeah, Terry, you going to say something?
I was just going to say, and that whole process can be challenging at a single hotel level. I mean, you've got the backing of your brand if you're in a chain, or, but being always on, making sure your content is right, being consistent, knowing when to dial up, dial down a particular channel, can be challenging in terms of your own scheduling and priorities.
Yeah. Sorry,
I was
Bede.
just going to say, the only thing I think that we really see at the moment internationally is it is just hyper competitive out there. So marketing is expensive, media buy is expensive, and it's almost shamelessly leaning into what people know and love about a destination or accommodation and cutting through. So there sometimes can be a sea of sameness in marketing where everyone has a turtle going through the water or a beach. It's sort of picking the things that people know, because you only get that limited window to cut through.
Yeah, and then putting my digital marketing agency owner on is really understanding who your customer are. Where are they? Where are they shopping? Where are they surfing? Where are they doing everything? And I think a lot of people don't know who their customer is. They have this shotgun approach that they're going to try and hit anything. And, you know, when we start working with a client, we come up with 4 or 5 different distinct personas. So we know exactly what they're doing, who they are, and then we sort of match the appropriate media, I think is very important. But I think a lot of the accommodation industry or travel industry don't know who their target market is. It's like, let's try everything. And a lot of people in this room got limited budgets. It's really understand who's your persona, what do they do, where do they book, how often do they book? And that data is all available, so very, very important. Let's talk a little bit about social media. Is it still working, not working? I mean, it's always sort of a bit of a, you know, who wants to sort of answer that?
Yeah, it's still working. We're up at nearly 40% in terms of our paid social performance.
Does it drive direct bookings or more awareness?
It depends how you're delivering your social media campaign, but it can do both, without a doubt, yeah.
I think it is absolutely still working. Facebook travel ads is one of our strongest performing channels.
Right. Yep.
I think it also depends on the content that you're putting forward on that channel and you're targeting the right audience.
All right. Databases and talking a little bit about that. I'll sort of, Ranae, loyalty. What is it? Is it still working? I mean, I brought up in my previous presentation Expedia's Path to Purchase survey in April, where it says half of Australians want to book with someone's got a loyalty program. Tell me a little bit about, you've got a massive loyalty program.
Yeah, I hope it's still working. No, it's still working. It's incredibly powerful, and I think you're only going to see it continue to grow. You're only going to see members want more choice from within that loyalty program.
What do you mean choice?
They want more options to use with their points. So that's something that we certainly saw with All, which was a number of partnerships that we needed to find that complementary partnerships to give members more reasons to stay outside of a hotel stay. So, you know, Qantas partnerships, the recent partnership with Woolworths as an example, a number of those things, very, very important to be part of the everyday life of that customer to keep them engaged in the product. And then on the other side, which is the business I'm now running, subscription loyalty is growing considerably. By, I think, last year it was about $875 billion business across the globe. By next year, it's going to be $1.3 trillion, the market. And I think the most underrated category in that market is actually travel. I think we're going to see a huge surge on subscription, particularly in our space in terms of hospitality.
Anyone else to add on the whole loyalty and? Terry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think that, again, at a hotel level, because loyalty, I see, or we've seen certainly an upsurge and uptick post-COVID, and I think, again, it's that value that people are looking for out of all of the different loyalty programs that they're involved in. And then at a hotel level, you know, we see that people are just looking for that authentic recognition. You know, it's not just, okay, I'm here, I'm redeeming my points, or I get my 10% discount at the bar, or whatever the case may be. But to be recognised and to have value out of that loyalty program is, you know, it's what keeps them coming back, you know, to our hotel, for instance.
It's like when you fly an airline, you know, if you're Qantas or Virgin, I mean, Qantas do it well. If you're, you know, gold or platinum, they say, welcome aboard, can you do something? I think hotels need to be doing that a lot better. And, you know, to be recognised when you check in, it's amazing, welcome back. And, or, you know, hey, we saw that you ordered this last time in room service, can we organise that? Or just even just welcome back, I think goes a long way, no matter what loyalty program you've got. So, Ranae?
Yeah, no, it comes back to knowing the customer.
Yeah.
Because I think Terry's right, not everyone's in a loyalty program for the same reason. So understanding that and being okay with that is also really important, because you can be even more targeted within a loyalty program than what you can be outside of a loyalty program, because you know so much more about that customer. So you're right. You've got people in loyalty programs who maybe just want the night stay, in our case, that maybe just want the dining element, that just want, I just want to be recognised.
Yeah.
I just want my
just
benefits.
A little phone call
or
after
just
you check in
the
or
pre-arrival call. Or I just want points. So there's so many different reasons within that. There's not one, you know, kind of golden nugget. You have to be able to deliver on all levels, because your customer within that program is so different.
Yeah. And I mean, sorry, when I've stayed here a few times, and I mean, I got a message here on WhatsApp 2 days or a day before. Hi, welcome back, Mr. Caruso. Is there anything we can help your stay through WhatsApp? Brilliant. You know what I mean? So they're trying to make my stay more comfortable beforehand. Is there anything? I think that was great. And I think Revenate, the CRM system, facilitates that, but that's great, you know. So,
But it's really easy too. I don't want to, because could be, being in a big company does have its benefits, but an individual hotel can do that, right? So if you know your guest loves Diet Coke, and that's pretty easy if a guest is travelling with you, just fill the minibar fridge with Diet Coke. You don't have to be part of a big chain or a big global program to be able to deliver some of these things for some of those customers is probably my point there.
Kari?
I was going to say, on top of the recognition, if the hotel is doing that well, the payback then is the guest coming back directly rather than coming through a paid channel.
I mean, I was saying in my presentation, I mean, I stayed at a hotel once. I had to book through an OTA because they were cheaper. And when I went to check out, the duty manager came out, hey, I saw you booked on booking.com. Here's my business card. Next time you book, please email me. Amazing. And that's what I do now. There's one hotel in Melbourne that I always stay at, and I just recognise that just because of that. And they changed duty manager, and now every time I email them direct, they pass it on to Res. But, you know, what I get, it is incredible. So, Bede, from a tourism organisation, I mean, what do you think? I mean,
there's a reason that we clamour for partnerships because for all of these reasons that everyone said, and for us, it just extends the marketing reach we have into the customers we're trying to reach. So it's a really efficient way for us to sort of stretch the dollar.
Yeah, okay. Ranae, or to everyone, there's a lot of small operators here. Can't afford a loyalty program. How would you set up a loyalty program or something? Or, I mean, we talked about what we do for some of our clients. We have just a gated on the website, join here. They don't have any points. Or what would you recommend, for someone from a conglomerate, to the small operators? How can you do that?
Yeah, a loyalty program's a big commitment, right? So I think just deliver on the customer promise that you have as an organisation and know your customer. And in individual hotels, one could argue that could be a little bit easier than having 400 of them. But know those customers and be able to deliver that personalised service. You don't have to have a program, as we were just talking about. But investing in a loyalty program is a massive commitment.
Yeah.
Financially, resources, and it's a long road. It's not a kind of quick fix. So, but yeah, I think that's probably.
But I think also just creating all those touch points throughout the hotel, from when they check in to when they check out, creating all those touch points. As I said, I stay in a hotel nearly every week, and there's some who haven't got a loyalty program, but I will stay there because I'm recognised, and just all those little touch points. So yeah.
Coming back onto the point Bede made, which was I lost train of thought, was the other thing for a small operator that you can do, or I would look to do, is extend your partnerships. Use use other partners that you've got, whether it's procurement partners or partnerships within industry. All of those sort of things, you don't have to kind of start from scratch, and often some cost money, some cost a lot, some cost very little, if not nothing. They're all great opportunities to be able to extend your reach or to extend that customer base, and that isn't for big players, that's for anyone, I think, and that's a really important thing. You don't have to have the big partnerships of the world.
Talking about partnerships, Bede, what's Tourism Australia doing to support hotels and accommodation businesses of all sizes to boost occupancy?
Sure, look, I mean, I think we have, as I sort of outlined in my presentation, sort of the program to drive demand internationally. Our role is, I guess, to get sort of awareness and consideration, and then we look to our partnerships with airlines, with international partners, booking agents, to really sort of pull people through the funnel. So I think it's to sort of get bums on seats or people into beds in hotels. But also what we're trying to do is more and more our consumer demand research project that was always done to inform our marketing. More and more now we're cutting and dicing that and sharing it with industry so people can understand better the markets that they're targeting and what people, and I guess it ties into this loyalty, what Chinese consumers or the US consumers, what they want when they get here, and understanding the particular nuances of a market and being market ready as well. And what we're seeing in Australia, and this is something we've sort of keep reminding industry that for so long when the borders were closed, everyone relied on the domestic market, and the muscle memory's been lost a little bit on how to leverage that international opportunity. And I think it's just sort of, once again, we're trying to share that information so people can better understand the markets.
Talk a little bit about branding. Kari, why would an unbranded hotel join a big brand? There's a lot of white labels. I mean, we talk a lot about it in the owners, the CEOs talked about it. There's a lot. I mean, we've got some clients. Should I join a big brand? Should I stay as part who I am now? Yeah.
Well, one of the key points that was touched on earlier today was that around distribution. So joining a big brand, there is that instant distribution that it comes, both in terms of generating that demand for the hotel, but then equally reducing the overall costs of distribution, whether through preferable fees through GDS, for example. Then it is the loyalty program. There's also demand that comes and gets delivered through that loyalty program. Further support, whether it's through sales, marketing. There are a number of different reasons. And finally, I guess that recognition that comes with associating with that brand.
Yeah. Okay. Talk a little bit about AI and technology. How is everyone using and integrating new tech, and how are you currently using AI to drive more loyalty and direct bookings? Come on, who's going to go?
Okay.
I hope you're all using it.
Yeah,
Hey.
I think that my one call out on AI is make sure you have a strategy and have a good, solid understanding of AI before you just jump in and start using ChatGPT. But I think, so for us, where we're using it is certainly through our telesales business. So being able to perform, so it's efficiency through that telesales, so you can scrape through for words and keywords, hearing back some of the calls, that it helps from that. So it's very much efficiency based in that aspect. In terms of customer service through our member services teams, that's the other big opportunity. And again, for us, it's two things. It's being able to be more efficient and resource and focus on the areas that we should be, not the, can someone help me find my points? So there are simple things that we can make it more efficient, and equally, it enables us to meet the customers where they're at in terms of channel more efficiently.
Okay. Kari?
For us, in particular through revenue management and machine-based learning, AI is applied very effectively across that.
Terry?
Yeah, I think certainly at a hotel, it's a bit of baby steps where, looking at where those gaps are. Some of it's in the revenue management space, just even in terms of proposal creation, some of those small areas. But and then there's the corporate element of what Radisson's doing in terms of AI development, in terms of what it can mean for the hotel level.
Bede, do you know much about what?
Yeah, look, I think one of the things we're really interested in is how AI is going to change the distribution landscape. And I mentioned a piece of work coming, so we're sort of exploring that in terms of what does that mean for the distribution landscape, and then I guess for all the product as well.
Okay. Final question to everyone, sort of, what's a marketing lesson you've learned along the way that you won't forget? Ranae?
I've said it before, know your customer and make sure you've got really good content.
Kari?
Remember who your customer is, and also if a customer calls and says your website has been hijacked,
Okay.
don't open that website up in front of your CEO as he's walking past. Yeah.
A crowd strike, we won't go there. Terry?
I think it's under promise and over deliver in all aspects.
Yeah,
Bede, I mean, yeah.
Look, I think in addition to know your customer, it's being really authentic in what you're putting forward, and likewise for everyone else, know your customer.
Yeah, I'll share a quick one. I was a travel agent when I was 22, 23. Internet wasn't around. I ran a half-page ad in the Courier Mail and I forgot to put my phone number on there. Sorry, but anyway. Please thank our distinguished panel on marketing, branding and loyalty. Thank you very much.